Can we set the record for youngest pilot around the world? Let's find out in the hangar. Hi, and welcome to In the Hangar. I'm Bailey Ward.
And I'm Christy Schaefer. This is a special edition of In the Hangar. As you can see, we're on location at the Flying Eyes booth at
AirVenture.
Woo! All right, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Flying Eyes and Clements Insurance,
Check it out, guys.
for bringing us here to AirVenture this year so that we can speak to amazing guests. And we have a couple of pretty amazing guests today. Bailey, who do we have?
So here we have somebody who seems to be following in my footsteps. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Andrew Ingersoll. I'm a young aspiring pilot, student pilot.
How young are you?
How young? I am 16 as of 4 days ago.
Okay,
So
and you did something pretty awesome on your 16th birthday. What'd you do?
I did. So on my 16th birthday, before I actually even got my driver's license at Sunrise, I soloed a Cessna 152 or 172 that me and my dad are in a partnership on.
Dude,
All right.
me too. Let's go. I've never heard of somebody doing the whole car
Can't
thing too.
drive a
so.
car, can fly an airplane, you guys. I just want to point
And who
that
do you have
out.
sitting next to you?
This over here is my dad. He's my CFI right now.
Whoa.
And also just a dad with a lot of cool past experiences that I've shared time with.
Yes.
So.
All right,
So,
Jacob, introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Jacob Ingersoll. I'm a captain on the 737 with American Airlines. But
Shout out.
prior to this, I instructed in the Navy in T6s for about 4 years and T45s. Also flew F-18s for a tour.
yeah, no
What you're
biggie.
saying-
Off the carrier.
No biggie.
So
What you're saying is that you're qualified to teach him how to fly.
I've got a few hours instructed.
Okay.
Well, that's incredible. So I think it's super interesting to see somebody else who's super eager about getting their license, getting it early. I know you started out doing something else when you were 14. Can you give us a little bit of background on what that was?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had the aviation bug since before I can really remember.
I wonder why.
Naturally.
Always
I wonder
got
why.
it. Started off as trains, but then slowly transitioned into airplanes. And that's
Did you
really
say
what it's all about.
transition? I'm just kidding.
That's very funny. But yeah, so it transitions from trains, and since before I can remember, I've had the aviation bug, trying to figure out how I could get in early to flying. Number one, just randomly being on YouTube and realizing, oh, there's something called Part 103, and there's an Aerolite 103. I wonder if I could somehow get into that. Which that timeline kind of passed. That dream and aspiration kind of took the back burner, and I figured out about gliders. So I lived out in Granbury, Texas for about a year and a half, 2 years, and in that time I got involved in a glider chapter group, and we restored.
You can start flying gliders at what age?
Yeah, so you can solo a glider at 14,
There you go. All right.
which is crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Can't
you-
drive a car.
Well, not too crazy for you because
Yeah,
you
exactly.
did it.
Yeah, it's right up my alley. It's pretty standard at this point, I guess. But I got involved out there, helped restore a Schweitzer 222.
Wow.
And after doing all that work, I got to come back out after we'd already moved away to South Alabama. I got to go back and fly it and solo it on my 14th birthday. So that was
that's
So you actually
incredible.
soloed that on your 14th birthday.
I did, yeah. 14th
Oh,
birthday.
how
Soloed a
Cool.
172 on your 16th birthday.
Yes, exactly.
Look
I'm
at this
out.
guy. I know.
I have nothing
There's no
left
waiting.
to
We
give.
don't have time
This
for waiting.
is-
Yeah. So we're proud. Jacob, how does this make you feel? Not only a CFI, but as dad.
Yeah, so totally awesome experience getting to see both those things.
Did you
couldn't-
solo on your 14th birthday?
No, I was not as blessed
Not
to
as
have.
cool.
Yeah.
Not as cool.
I have awesome parents, but I did not have a dad that was a pilot, so
Okay,
and
that's
didn't have
fair.
the connections
That's
in the
fair.
family. That being said, it doesn't just because you don't have family or dad who's a pilot doesn't mean as a young kid you can't get involved flying early.
Yep.
So the glider training and solo that he did, that was all through the EA chapter in Granbury, Texas. So they
Wow.
supported the restoration of that glider. A lot of the chapter members, the chapter
amazing.
president led that up. He's a glider instructor, and so he actually soloed Andrew in that. And all of the work in restoring that glider, they got to do the fabric covering with the polyfiber system and paint the aircraft. Did a whole lot of work restoring that. He spent every Saturday for over a year in the hangar helping restore that glider before he ever got to fly a glider. And so that was something that just going to EA chapter meetings in your local area, getting to know people and doing Young Eagles flights, he made those connections to be able to do that and put in the work helping restore it that
Yeah.
earned him
I
the
think
glider training.
those types of experiences now are so accessible. All you have to do with the advent of social media and the networking online and stuff, all you have to do is look for it.
Yeah, and I can actually attest to that. So similar situation. My family has zero background in aviation, but I heard about this cool thing, Young Eagles, and so that's how I got invested in aviation. And now I've just finished up serving as the Young Eagles coordinator for my chapter. So things like that are super
You
cool. So that's
young people
awesome.
are
Yeah.
so
That's-
lucky.
but
There's
that's
huge
awesome,
benefits. When
yeah.
you do those Young Eagles flights, you get the Sporties provides the
Yep.
ground school, so you get
And I use
free
that.
ground school package. He just did that and took
Yeah.
his. I made him take his private written before his solo as part of
Good.
his pre-solo written
Yeah.
test. A lot more than you actually have to do for a solo, but had him do that, and so those are all great
No,
benefits
that's
of the
amazing.
program.
I'm glad
through
that you're
EAA.
making him do stuff like that. You want him to like level up.
He's got to earn it. He's got to have buy-in.
Right.
He's lucky and blessed that I have the ability to provide some of these resources, but you got to have skin in the game and earn it.
No, absolutely.
absolutely.
And I agree with that. I love that message. All right. So we talked a little bit about your background, but our opening was about being the youngest person to fly around the world. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is kind of it started off as a far off dream. You could still call it far off, but really attainable at this point. As I've started to do some networking here at Oshkosh, I've been working on some of the planning before this, some of those prerequisites, and I'm trying to turn this dream into a reality. It's attainable, and what I'm trying to do is reset the world record and be the youngest man to fly around the world solo.
All right. What is the
That's-
current age, Bailey?
It's actually 19, and fun fact, we just spoke with the guy that you're trying to beat. So Matt Guthmiller, which is
Yeah,
actually
well, I- him back
super
and have him,
cool.
like, dig
I
it
know.
out.
I wish he was still here.
I'm the youngest. No, I'm the youngest.
Yeah, it'd be really fun to talk with him, rub elbows,
Yeah, right.
trash talk a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you-
no, it's perfect.
So you say it's really attainable. What are some things that you're working on now to work towards that goal?
Absolutely. So the biggest part and hurdle for me at least is the 172 that I fly runs on avgas. It's slow. It's old, certified airplane. Not as easy to do some of the modifications, such as adding ferry tanks and adding that different stuff in. So
Tell that to the guys who flew for like 54 days straight.
Yeah, for real.
that's true. That wasn't a 172. But what I'm going to try to find is a more comfortable cross-country machine that I can modify a little bit for the purposes of flying across some different challenging areas like the North Pacific and some different areas like that.
All right, Dad, how does this make you feel?
Honestly, I mean, a little bit nervous, right? The idea of doing that. However, I think it's still safer than driving a car. So
Right.
I
My parents
probably
say the same
worry-
thing.
I worry more when he's out on the road. If he was flying across an ocean, I mean, modern equipment, modern technology, tracking, all that.
Driving a car?
I think it
no.
would be safer.
172 over the Pacific?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You know?
Okay, awesome. So the plan then is to do this in the 172 with some heavy modifications, I'm assuming.
Maybe. So one of
Okay.
the big things that I've done while I was here is scout out some different airplanes. And I'm actually eyeing an airplane from TL Sport. It's a little light airplane called a Sparker. I talked with them this morning. Got some prices, talked to their mechanics, and really got a firm plan for what I'm looking for, and that aircraft is really enticing to me. So possibly looking to do it in a TL Sport Sparker.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think part of the idea too is it would be easier if he already had an instrument rating. So he's going to be
I was gonna
working
ask.
to
Right,
yeah.
okay.
So a lot more flexibility with an instrument rating. So you can get that at 17. Really, all he's going to be lacking between now and then is getting 50 solo or 50 PIC cross-country hours, which as a student pilot's got to be solo. So he's got to be paying for all his avgas for those 50 hours
Good
over the
for
next
you.
year.
Good for you,
so that he earns those
honestly.
hours, and then he'll be ready to take the check rides on his 17th birthday for both of those, private and instrument. That would make it a lot easier to actually make good pace on the record.
Yeah.
With that, it does open up more options for airplanes, to help set that record than just some of the, things that you might fly otherwise and be able to go IFR. So one idea with it is I don't want him to just set a record for himself. So one thing we've talked about is doing this would like to raise awareness for something like Mission Aviation Fellowship,
I
where they're
love
using
that.
airplanes to serve other people.
Right.
And so my dream goal with it would be that we could figure out how to raise enough money to buy a Kodiak and then donate it to Mission Aviation Fellowship after the record. That would be like the ultimate goal.
That would be epic. We'll have to talk to Mark Brown over at Kodiak.
So if you have any connections for that would be helpful.
We have some people to network with, both on the missionary side and the Kodiak side.
Okay,
so there
perfect.
you go.
So that would be the ideal way to do it. I mean, that's a super solid, reliable airplane that's very capable of that kind of mission.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then to be able to raise that money to give them another airplane, that would be really cool.
That's incredible. Okay, so we know you want to go around the world. Past that, what's your plan with aviation?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a lot of different pathways open to me, and I've been given a lot of valuable mentors that have shown me the different paths that are out there. And one of those being military aviation. That's really enticing to me, whether that's in the form of active duty or something like the Guard, just for a short little while to scratch the jet itch or something like that.
That's what we're going to call that.
Or corporate aviation. The what?
The jet itch.
Yes, the jet itch. There's the airplane itch, but then there's the flying itch, but then there's the need for speed, breaking the sound barrier.
The
itch.
shirt. I think I wore the right shirt for
You
today.
Absolutely. So that's kind of at the moment what I'm working towards, and what really shines to me in the aviation world that I wanna work my way towards. But there's also, I think it'd be fun to go work my way to the airlines and fly with Dad before he retires.
That would be
do
cool.
another event like that.
We have a lot of time to do that too. Thankfully.
Yeah, there's
I was
a lot
able
of
to
time
get in
to do
early,
that.
and he could be there early too. I mean, this is a great time. Even though he's kind of maybe on the back end of the hiring wave with his age, by the time he'd have the hours, I mean, I think it's still
it'd be a
realistic,
no-brainer,
early
yeah.
to mid
It's doable.
20s, to get there. So there's so many opportunities right now, and so many ways to do it. I mean, all the initiatives that EA and AOPA and everybody has going on. There's a lot of open doors and a lot of good information out there from podcasts like this and things.
The thing I love about you guys is truly you are trying to use your powers for good. So instead of just, I want to go and do this and break the record for record's sake and whatnot, you're like, hey, let's do this. Yeah, we want to do this. This is great, but let's do some good with it.
Yeah, let's do it for a cause.
That's the message that I just absolutely love about you guys.
Oh, gosh, that gives me chills.
I know, right?
Well, guys, I'm impressed to say the least.
We can't wait to follow your journey.
Yes, I know.
We're going to have follow-up conversations for sure.
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
Can anybody follow you? Like, where can the people follow your journey?
Vaguely. So, funny enough, before my birthday, I was like, ooh, I'm going to buy myself a Christmas present. So I bought myself a camera, bought a few mounts, and I've started throwing the camera on the airplane a little bit.
Awesome.
I got some of my solo on video.
Oh,
and
cool.
starting to cut that up. So I'm trying to start on YouTube, but right now, just do
it for fun. Do it for you. Do it for you.
We are going to get something like that set up certainly as we move forward with this. We should have a little bit of help. I think we did something a little unusual for a solo the other day. I actually flew Chase.
Oh my
I did a lot of formation flying in the military, so I borrowed another buddy's 172 and flew Chase on his solo.
Oh,
and,
was that like any more stressful?
yeah.
No, it was actually really easy because I was flying lead, so it was basically just.
You didn't even know it was
I
there.
told him
Ball
just fly
centered,
his
so you're not doing
airplane and
anything
ignore
weird.
me. So that's basically what we did.
Literally, you guys are goals.
Yes,
That is
I love
hilarious.
that.
is
We
so
did have the
funny.
benefit of a buddy, Brad Herbert, who's been on this podcast before, I believe, and he's also been behind the camera.
Okay,
Brad. He's a great friend.
Yeah.
He rode along with me and took video and pictures for me while I was flying
Stop it.
formation off him. So,
Oh my gosh.
So we got some great pictures and video from our airplane, and then he had a 360 camera in his plane. So we've got some good footage, and I think Brad's going to be helping us put a little video together of that.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, you guys, I am super excited to watch this journey. I'm so excited to keep in touch and follow up with this story. Is the goal 17th birthday private and instrument check ride?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That is the plan.
All
Knock
right,
them
you
out in the
guys.
same day. It's aggressive,
it.
but I have time to
You know
learn
what?
and
No,
study
you've
up.
got almost a year. So just crush it, dude. Crush it. You got
I think
this.
I have 360 days.
Yeah,
I got a
something like
countdown
that.
going. It's,
Perfect. Exactly. Well, no, I love this so much. And you know what else I love? I love you guys. I love our sponsors. Bailey.
Ooh, that's
Our
a good loop in
sponsors.
there. I
You
like
like
that.
it? Yeah.
So, of course, guys, this wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. We have, like we mentioned before, Flying Eyes. We also have Clemens Insurance.
We have
67 Designs.
Designs.
Jinx. NPS Protects as well.
We have the Z Vision.
That's a good
Z
one.
Vision, and we have Colton Mortgage for your residential mortgage needs. Dan
Did
would be
we-
so proud.
Did we We got that all?
of it without
Let's
Dan.
go.
Let's
We
go.
got that.
All right, you guys. We love you. Like, subscribe, share our content. We'll see you all next time.
In the hangar.